Hello and welcome to part 2 of our Virgin Voyages review of the Scarlet Lady. If you have not seen part 1, you may want to stop here and go back and view that video first. I am Michael with M&K Travel. We are travel agents as well as travel influencers, and we hope that you find our videos entertaining and helpful. As always, please like our video and subscribe to our channel if you wish to be notified of future videos. The introduction to this video is a 3D rendering of the ship that was created by and owned by Virgin Voyages. It is an exact model of what the ship looks like in real life. We sailed on the Scarlet Lady in late October 2021 and then again in mid-December 2021, so some of the videos and pictures were taken on the second voyage to be added to this video because we missed a couple shots that we wanted to include in this video. Our first stop on this part of the video was in the Groupie, Virgin's onboard karaoke rooms, where you can be your own rock star. These rooms do have to be booked in advance. There are 3 private rooms inside this studio. Both sailings we were on, we never saw anyone at the desk in the room, but instead there's a sign-up sheet on the desk where you can sign up for a time and a room. Dinner this evening was at Extra Virgin, the onboard Italian restaurant. Here you can see a selection of some of the items we ordered off the menu. Everything that we had in this restaurant, from the appetizer to the dessert, was excellent. After dinner, we ordered the tableside affogato. An affogato, or more traditionally known as affogato al caffè, is an Italian coffee-based dessert. It usually takes the form of a scoop of gelato or ice cream, and then topped with a shot of hot espresso. This was served tableside on our October voyage, but they had told us in December that they stopped doing it tableside. But they brought it out and did it for us anyway. After dinner, it was time for the most popular show on the ship entitled Dual Reality. It starts out very inconspicuous as the plot slowly builds. This show has no dialogue and is all visual. The show is presented by the Seven Fingers group. The story is kind of like a cross between Romeo and Juliet and West Side Story. This show takes circus to a whole new theatrical level. They boil this epic love story down to the core of its conflict and drop the stage into a sporting arena. The audience is seated face to face on either side of the action. They witness the 2 groups in opposition by default, by desire to rise above the other. Through this provocation and conflict, we catch a glimpse of our star-crossed lovers. They are fierce players, but do not seem to care who wins or loses. If playing the game can bring them closer together, competition can be playful at times, but it can also be dangerously serious. After the show, it was up to the pool deck for a show entitled Odyssey. This show was a lot of fun, and it contained a lot of singing and dancing. When we returned for our second cruise in December, they had already stopped doing this show. The next morning, we arrived at our first port of call, Cozumel, Mexico. The ship was docked in Punta Lagosta. The port was pretty much like any other Caribbean port, with shops and restaurants like Hooters and Senor Frog's. Our excursion this day was the beginner scuba class. I am already an advanced certified diver, but Katie's wanting to learn, so we decided to take this class. The area the open water dive is performed in is a contained area, and on this day it was wave-free. In the background you can see two other cruise ships at the port I referenced earlier. You're with a dive master at all times, and they do bring a photographer out on the dive with you. I planned to film the dive with the GoPro, but of course we ran into technical issues. Since Virgin stays late in port, we still had a good part of the day left, so we decided to rent a Jeep and drove the island. We ended up going to a little village named El Cidral. It is a small Mayan village that normally would have a large Day of the Dead celebration going on, but because of COVID, that did not happen. We met a local man, whose name I think was Martinez, who took us into his shop and showed us all his wares and things that he had for sale. He even gave us a free tasting of Mayan liqueur, which we did end up buying in the end. He introduced us to his family and took us on a tour of his backyard, which contained many different varieties of plants and trees.
Decoration. See? Angel, Mother Mary, and the dark one is my sign, because my mama, I born on the same day of him, but I almost passed away, and mama, he prayed for him, and he said, if you give me my son back, I will gonna make you altar. And that's the reason we're making this altar right here.
We then walked across the street to the only remaining Mayan structure in the village. It is approximately 1,500 years old. Martinez explained that the church next to this Mayan ruin was built by his grandfather and some other earlier villagers. This church is still used today for worship. Back aboard the ship, we had reservations at the test kitchen. This is a very unique experience, which has a set menu of courses. This is a real working kitchen, and you can see them preparing different courses in front of you. The first appetizer item was called mushroom. It was some sort of mushroom pâté and formed into the shape of a mushroom. Next up was smoked egg and peas. The presentation of this was amazing. The following course was scallop. The main course was a choice of either beef loin or venison. Just look at that amazing presentation.
So you've got the beef loin, madam, and you've got the venison loin, fed in a smoked beetroot puree with a little bit of acidity with the pickled blueberry, and a piece of chocolate with a cream top with the chewy sauce. On your left plate, you'll
We purchased the drink package, which had a different drink that came with and complemented each course. This interesting dish was blue cheese ice cream, and was there for a palate cleanser before the final dish. After dinner, it was on to the Never Sleep Alone show. This show books up very fast.
If you believe that sex is good, let me hear you say yes! If you believe that you are brave and you are beautiful, let me hear you say yes!
One of our favorite non-restaurant places to eat on the ship was the Sun Club Cafe on Deck 16, which serves poke bowls. Our other favorite place on the ship to grab a bite to eat was on the dock. It's at the very back of the ship. They serve small tapas-type plate selections, including chicken thigh, hanger steak, Spanish octopus, and shrimp. This shrimp was amazing and was one of my favorite things on the ship. Tonight's dinner reservation was at Gunbay, the Korean barbecue restaurant. There is a convenient sink right in the waiting area that you will be asked to wash your hands before being seated. Gunbay is essentially the Korean word for cheers, and you will hear it chanted many times in this restaurant. You'll be seated at a table with other people with a maximum of up to 6 to 8 people depending on the table. Inside the menu, you will find a set of what is essentially Korean drinking games that are highly encouraged to be played with your table. When someone at the table is supposed to take a shot, everyone is supposed to yell, "Gunbae." No one at our table had been to a Korean barbecue restaurant before, and no one could make a choice on what they wanted to eat, so our server recommended just bringing everything, which they did. Starting around 7 p.m., the ship is slowly transformed in preparation for the big party night, which they call Scarlet Night. Although it is not required, I would highly recommend bringing something red to wear for this evening. Around 9 p.m., the festivities will start on Deck 7. I have found the best places to view this would either be in the main atrium, which is seen here, or in the sip bar.
When the Scarlet Lady is ready for sea, way, hey, blow the man down. That is the time you'll see that we're free. Give me some time to blow the man down. A bonny good ship and a good captain too. Way, hey, blow the man down. A bonny good mate and a bonny good crew. Give me some time to blow the man down. Blow the man down, boys, blow the man down. Way, hey, blow the man down. Right the place, MacLeod.
Around an hour later, the festivities will move up to Deck 15 for the main part of the evening.
We honor the octopus goddess as she grants us safe passage. But
After the Scarlet Night event concludes at the pool, the party moves into the state-of-the-art, two-story dance club entitled The Manor. We decided to go for a late-night snack at the pizza place. This first part of the video was taken while we were in port. As you can see, it's still light out. Here you can see the 3-story pizza oven. Everything here is prepared made to order. They do have a selection of 4 pizzas, or you can customize your own. As we sit outside enjoying our pizza, you can take a look and see that all of the balconies on the outside of the ship have now been turned to red in celebration of Scarlet Night. The following morning was our second stop in Bimini, the Bahamas. There are 3 islands that make up Bimini in total. This one is North Bimini Island. The island is only about 7 miles long and has a population around 2,000 people. There is one road that goes up and down the island. One of the first things you should notice is that the tram and the cars are driving on the opposite side of the road. If you do rent a golf cart, please remember this fact so you do not cause or get into an accident. We decided to rent a golf cart for half the day, and we took it to the southernmost point of the island. I believe the locals call this Radio Beach or Spooky Beach. You see up ahead what I am officially naming the Bimini Blowhole. There is one very similar to this on the island of Oahu in Hawaii called the Halana Blowhole. This spot and this beach made for some of the most amazing photos. The only place we saw to shop for souvenirs was in a small market in the center of Alice Town. Bimini is highly renowned for its underwater life, so if you're into fishing, snorkeling, or scuba diving, I highly recommend you partake in those excursions. Many of the episodes you see on Shark Week are filmed here in the Bahamas and around Bimini. On our second cruise with Virgin, we went on the snorkeling trip to the SS Sapona shipwreck and snorkeling with the Sharks excursion, which can be seen in a separate video, which has already been published. Conch is a very popular dish on the island. Unfortunately, Virgin doesn't serve that at the beach club, so if that's something you would like to try, you'll have to venture out to one of the local restaurants. We spent the second half of the day at the beach club, but not before stopping at Sue and Joy's, which is in Fisherman's Village, to buy some of our own alcohol. This is the Bimini Beach Club, which is actually owned by Resorts World Hotel and Casino, and Virgin basically rents it for the day for its Voyagers.
Es muy grande, pero lo tengo en mis manos. Está muy duro, sí, ok, vamos. Y con el tiempo nos seguimos elevando.
Any drink packages you have purchased on board are still valid at the beach club, and lunch, as well as a snack, is served.
I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble again whenever you're around. Oh, baby, when I see your face.
Then I saw her face.
Now I'm a believer.
Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I could love her if I tried. Take it away, Ben.
You don't care for me, well, I don't care. Woo! You got a new food. Hey, I like it. Let me stand.
Our last dinner on the cruise was at Pink Agave, the onboard traditional Mexican restaurant. Our last meal aboard the Scarlet Lady was breakfast at Razzle Dazzle. Razzle Dazzle is named after the dazzle camouflage or dazzle paint scheme used by the British and US naval ships during World War I and to a smaller degree World War II. It consisted of complex patterns of geometric shapes in contrasting colors, interrupting and intersecting each other. Unlike other forms of camouflage, the intersection of dazzle is not to conceal, but to make it difficult to estimate a target's range, speed, and heading. Razzle Dazzle is one of the 2 restaurants on board that you can make reservations for breakfast, the Wake being the other. On behalf of myself and Katie here at M&K Travel, we'd like to sincerely thank you for taking the time to watch our video and hope it helps to pique your interest in taking a voyage with Virgin. We are both first mates and would love to help you get your future voyage booked. Please like our video and subscribe to our channel. Bye for now.